Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Nothing But Stuff. Little announcement to make. There's a bit of a change in the lineup. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Isaac Harwood. And today, well, it's a sad day. I've finally defeated Lewis in single combat and buried him under the shed that he built for me. And today we have, from the snowy hills of Austria, we have Gunther Schmidt. So, Gunther, do you want to just give a little rundown, a bit of your backstory and how you found yourself here today?
Oh, yeah, it's good, yes. My name's Gunther. It's lovely to meet you. It's very fine to be here. I was just walking down the street and there you were and you went, hello, you must be Gunther. And I went, how did you know my name? And you invited me into your home and there I've been squatting for the past week or so.
Yeah, you helped me dig the hole for Lewis in the garden. Yeah.
Very handsome, this man that you killed.
No, of course, my co-host Lewis is with us today. Just thought I'd throw a little bit in there, Lewis. How do you think? How do you think it came off?
I'm very, very upset that I didn't introduce the episode. I don't like it. I feel like there's been a real power shift, and I'm scared. Quite frankly, I'm scared. I don't know where this is going, and yeah.
I can't wait to get review bombed, like, never let Isaac do it again. Fuck's sake, piece of shit.
Or why is Lewis being so racist right at the start of the episode with his accent? I'm trying.
Yeah, normally the racism comes later.
No, we're not. No. We're never racist. We're satirical.
Of course. And we happen to pick like the most sexist prick in the world to do like all of our movies on. But we'll get to that later. Yeah, we should definitely like put a flag in that though. Anyway, so. You did recent stuff first last time, so I'll go ahead.
Oh God, this power shift is real.
Lewis actually took part in this one a while back, so I seem to talk about either a podcast or an RPG. It's kind of like, that's all I do.
Yeah.
Because that is all I do.
Get some hobbies, man.
Podcast last time, RPG this time. I want to talk about The Skeletons. So this is an RPG published in 2016 by someone he's called Jason Morningstar. I really hope that's his real name because it's fucking badass. I'm pretty sure Morningstar is like the surname they give to like Lucifer in the DC comics. I don't know if it's biblical Morningstar. I don't think it is for Lucifer. Anyway, Jason Morningstar also wrote Fiasco, which is a pretty massive RPG as well. Anyway, The Skeletons. The group play a group of skeletons guarding a dungeon, a tomb. It kind of flips the script on the old D&D adventurers raiding the tomb. It's the skeletons guarding the tomb from the adventurers.
Shoe on the other foot situation.
Yeah, and it's described as a meditative game. And that kind of brings me to like the great RPG, but I want to start with the bad bit. There's this thing where like there's time passes between like the encounters that happen, and in the rules, when that time passes, no matter like you roll for how much time passes, you're supposed to turn off the lights and sit in silence as a group. And by the end of the game, if you roll badly or well, I don't know how you want to think about it, you could sit there for 10 minutes. Yeah. That is a long time to sit in silence with your friends around a table. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you like feel the weight of the tomb and time passing, and this is like centuries and that kind of thing.
5 seconds is enough.
I've ran it twice. I didn't do that bit. It was just a bit silly. But I get the point. I get the gist. The interesting thing about this game is they kind of tell you up front, you will win every encounter until the last one. You just know that. So there's no combat resolution mechanic. There isn't, I'm going to stab him and you roll for it. You just do it because you know you're going to win. So you kind of work with your friends. There's some really cool classes. The one we played with Lewis took the silly route.
Hey, not just me.
I mean, you were a testicle harvesting skeleton. You had some brilliant character development where you thought you were all about harvesting testicles, but actually your memory was false. You thought you loved the testicles, but you actually hated them, and that was part of the curse.
Well, I found out that my testicles had been harvested, and then I had been subjected to mind trickery thousands of years as a skeleton. But I have to say, my residing memory from that game was just sitting there, just baffled by our friend Josh and what is going on in his mind on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I mean, it's an inherently evil game, because you're murdering people and you will win, so you will absolutely murder them.
Yeah.
And there are children involved, there are fleeing refugees, and you just fucking murder them all. We had the big-headed baby skeleton.
Tiny hands!
Which, mind-controlled a rat and did some horrible stuff. We had a human centipede-style skeleton named the Centurion. Anyway, I thought it was a brilliant game. I like how it the kind of core mechanic of the game is you remembering your life, your previous life. You start knowing nothing other than that you have to guard the tomb, and you kind of build your character during the game. I ran it twice, and both times it ended almost beautifully, I'd like to say. And it's a really good game.
You remember it differently than I do.
I just thought it was a really fun game.
Well, because you're going to win, it encourages you to be more creative because you're not worried about dying.
Yeah, not worried about dying, not worried about failure. You can kind of do the whole trying to scare them a little bit. So, someone in the other game that you weren't in, Lewis, they did the whole kind of I think they're called weeping angels from Doctor Who, where it's whenever they weren't looking, the skeletons moved closer and stuff. It was just really haunting and just a bit chilling.
I was there anyway. with just a big sack of stolen testicles.
I liked when you tried to harvest the testicles from the little girl, and it just
that was infuriating.
Where are they? I don't understand.
Well, I like the fact that our other friend Max, his idea, he was playing the character Big Head, so it was like a little baby-sized body but with a big head, or child-sized body. But his whole motif that he decided on was that he had tiny hands and that he wanted to harvest. Was it harvest? No, he just wanted to he could control hands or something.
He was jealous of hands. He ate someone's hands at some point, and he was in his one of his memories that he was a peeping Tom serial killer. That he was a strangler. Anyway,
with his tiny little hands.
It was fucking dark, but also really fun. And I played it with my wife, who was fucking hates horror and that kind of thing. And she really leaned into it. She was an ice witch person. It was really cool.
In the game, or just to you afterwards?
But yeah, no, I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, fun. Well, in my recent stuff, because I'm cutting you off now, drawing back some of that lost power, I watched a really shit film. So I watched.
So did I, Lewis. It was your suggestion. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, but that's notably shit. Where you can point at things and go, "Look how shit that is." This was just,
which we will do later.
Dull. So I watched the 2021 film "Those Who Wish Me Dead." And when was the last time you were watching a film and you were just God, I wish Angelina Jolie here was just half-arsing it, trying to look cool. And that's kind of half the plot. And then the other half of the plot is literally just... I mean, it's hard to call it a plot. So there's the main...
Give it a go.
So there's a forensic accountant at the start who, basically, digs up some dirt on someone. You never find out what the dirt is. You never find out who it's dug up on.
By the way, forensic accounting is just accounting. In a criminal sense, that's all it is.
Exactly. And so this guy sees on the news that his boss has, his house got blown up, and he's just oh shit, they're after us. So he takes his son, and they drive off, to his friend who lives in, a massive, forest, in America where it's, hundreds of miles of forests, and the assassins come to his house and see one picture of him standing in a forest, and they're just let's go to that forest. Okay. And
I know that tree.
And it's Nicholas Hoult is meant to be the more physical guy, but he's given next to nothing to do, and he's a seriously good actor, and it's not this is post Mad Max Fury Road and stuff. So it's just like, this guy can handle proper acting. He's an actor, but they give him, but he's just boring. And then it's, if you know, Aidan Gillen, you recognise his face. Like, he's the other one, and they're just crap. And then
Are
they
these
like
the assassins?
Yeah, and then they like kill the dad, and it's basically the little boy runs into the forest, and then Angelina Jolie has to try and save him, but they set the forest on fire, and she's something called like a smoke jumper, which is when people like firefighters like jump out of helicopters with parachutes down to like save people. I've never heard of it. It sounds made up, if you ask me.
As if that's like a singular profession. Like you just do the jumping bit. I bet it is, and won't get corrected.
But like they die, like the assassin. Yeah, obviously spoilers. But like the assassins die like 4/5 of the way through the film, and then the big main like villain left is the fire itself. But then I'm thinking, okay, here's what's going to happen. Her buddies are going to turn up and jump out of the helicopters and parachute down next to the fire and help save them. No, they don't turn up until the fire's gone.
Well done.
It's just like...
Well, it's dangerous, Lewis.
Oh, well, very. But there's a lot of films where they lean into danger. And this one just goes, nope, it's too dangerous. And,
no, not that fire.
I mean, it's got John Bernthal in it as well, the guy who did the Punisher series. Like the really mean-looking guy.
Yeah, Walking Dead guy, yeah.
Yeah, and he just plays like a cop who's like a good guy, who also just has like this really crap death at the end of the film. But it's just like, you had some decent elements in there, but I'm genuine. Like, as soon as we finished it, I was just like, I'm already forgetting what I just saw to my wife, and she was just like, yeah, that was shit.
Can I ask, like, how you came across it? Why was it like, let's watch this tonight?
We were just literally scrolling through Amazon Prime and just thought, oh, okay, there's that. And I was just watching it as well, and I was just like, Angelina Jolie's face is like frozen in place. Like,
oh, I know.
She's had so much done now.
Well, you mentioned the movie like in a group chat somewhere, and I was like, when was the last time I gave a shit about Angelina Jolie? Like, Mr. and Mrs. Smith was fun. It was bad, but it was fun.
The last time I saw her in something and I was just like, that was fun, was Lara Croft. Like, that's
that was a long time ago.
But that's the last thing that I remember. And if you look at her face then and her face now, it's like someone came up behind her and just stretched all of her skin back.
That's what they do.
Yeah, obviously she's had shitloads of facelifts and nose jobs and chin jobs and cheek jobs and other bits of Botox. And fine, do what you like. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if you're a movie star and I'm just like, you used to be so attractive and now I'm looking at you just going, ugh.
The other one I enjoyed with her in was
Age Gracefully,
which again was not good. So I'm not really like fulfilling the whole Angelina Jolie being any good. Wanted with her and James McAvoy with the stupid like bullet curving. It's got Morgan Freeman.
Oh yeah, that was entertaining enough.
It was fun action. But has she ever done anything good? Maleficent was okay, not my jam, but it was an okay movie.
She was boring as anything in Eternals.
Oh god, I mean, I haven't. That film in general is just fucking terrible.
Oh, it's such a oh, look at all these characters that we've introduced 2 minutes ago and are dying. Do you care? No.
Kung Fu Panda.
I mean, yeah, but amazing. Not because of her.
No, terrible. Kung Fu Panda 1 was fun. Salt was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Beowulf was terrible.
Is the last good film she did, like, relatively good film, Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Because I think
in 2005.
Yeah.
She hasn't done anything good ever.
Lara Croft Tomb Raider, again, I think that's good. Gone in 60 Seconds! That's a fun film.
The Bone Collector with...
I've not seen that.
You haven't seen that? That's a good one. With... what's this fucking... How have I forgotten his name? I'm just going to quickly get it up here. I'm not sure to quickly get it up here. Denzel Washington. He's like a disabled investigator. It's like a serial killer movie. It was dumb, but it was fun. Again, Angelina Jolie, I'm not seeing anything great here. Why is there so much hype?
I don't know.
She was hot?
Because she's very hot.
Yeah.
Like,
fair.
Very, very nice. But
very nice. You could have Borat reference there, you know. Relevant.
Hey, I'm hip and trendy, as my mother would say.
Well,
but anyway.
That's my mother would say. Hi, Claire.
Hey, Mum. Yeah, she stopped listening about 7 episodes ago.
No, that's the point. She hasn't, Lewis, because she's supportive and lovely.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. Mum, okay, Mum, if you ever listen to this specific episode, you have to go, hey, hip, trendy son, the next time you talk to me. And if you don't, I know that you don't really love me very much.
Don't really club me.
Don't really club me. No, she clubbed me too much, which is why I can't talk properly. But anyway, we should probably swiftly move on and get off of the topic of my mother.
Well, I'd like to stay on that topic. Mother stuff. Anyway, moving on. We are going back to our roots. It's been a long time. I think it's important to honour the ancestors.
Like my mother.
Go back to... see, I brought it back. Fight stuff. We haven't done fight stuff for 2 episodes, and frankly, I'm jonesing.
I know. I can tell in the future there's going to be riots when they realise that they had to go 2 whole weeks, especially when we did it 1 week and then said, we're not doing it this week, it'll be back next week, and then we didn't bring it back the next week.
Lewis, that's called the good old bait and switch. It's a classic.
Next week we're giving out gold.
Lewis, would you like to know your character for the evening?
I suppose.
Lewis, tonight you will be playing our favourite nightmare monster, Freddy Krueger.
That's a good start.
It's a good start with a jar full of bullet ants.
That's interesting.
It's interesting. I mean, it's quite nightmarish. Like, you can see how you could use that.
Wait, question. Is the scenario of where we're going to be, is that going to be based in the real world or a dream world?
But that is going to be decided, I guess, as we go.
Yeah, but none of the options of what the location was, in brackets, dream world.
No, it will come out organically, Lewis. That's improv. My character fighting against Freddy Krueger tonight will be Indiana Jones. With Jeffrey Epstein's bedsheet.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a pretty grim one.
Yeah.
You put that on the list, so thanks.
I have no recollection of that. I'm blaming you. You're the one in charge now, Mr. Host.
Jeffrey Epstein's bedsheet, Jesus Christ. It somehow survived the cull. Because one day I was like, Lewis, I think we need to edit this list, because some of it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, one that I took out was Oprah Winfrey's arsehole.
Yeah.
That was one of the locations. We were going to be playing inside her arsehole, and I was like, you know what? That's just a bit too much.
It'd be very cramped.
We haven't changed size. We're just shoved in there, just, like, nose to nose.
You got a minute before you suffocate.
That's the fight. In a dodgy massage parlour.
Well, that just really just goes with the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing.
Yeah.
We should also know. Those are nothing but stuff. Do not condone the use of terrible tactics to get hold of young women and abuse them. Mm-hmm. We want to make that clear. Yeah. We're against that.
We're generally just like good, nice people with a pretty fucked up sense of humour. So it's just satire, comedy. Just let it go. If you think that stuff's stupid, there's no way you've got to episode 9.
If this is the first episode you're listening to, here's your trigger warning. If you don't like it, fuck off. How about that? You've been fair warned.
Don't whine about it. Just turn it off. Like, I don't understand.
Or skip ahead.
All right. Freddy Krueger, jar full of the ants, Indiana Jones, Jeffrey Epstein's bedsheet.
Rolling off.
Dodgy massage parlour.
I rolled a 5.
Well, I rolled a 6.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I just lie. No, I don't. I legit. It's got a line under the round bit at the bottom, so I know it's a 6 and not
rather
a 9.
Than a 9.
Yeah, on my D6. This joke's on you. I'm using a D20. Okay. I go first every time?
I think I've gone first twice. Like Bob the Builder against the alien, so like that didn't fucking matter. I had no chance.
All he did was like walk into the room. Anyway. Okay. Indiana Jones, Jeffrey Epstein's bedsheet in a dodgy massage parlour. I'm going to say the dodgy massage parlour is Indiana Jones, so Harrison Ford, is just coming out of the shower room. Of course, there's a shower room in this massage parlor. He's got some kind of sheet or towel around his waist. Yeah. It's not very absorbent. A bit confused about what towel he's grabbed. It's a little dry and crusty.
Oh god!
And he's wearing the hat, and he's got the whip on his hip somehow. But he's topless, and it's eerily deserted. In this massage parlor. There's like a flickering pink neon light in a corner. There's kind of just like various gels and lubricants and on different tables all over the place. Tissues just kind of scrunched up in various corners. It's dodgy. This massage parlor it's dodgy from the get go.
Oh wow!
And he's like, "Hello,
what was
anyone
that?
here?" Yeah, I was like, can I do the voice? And then halfway through, I just bailed. Yeah. So he just calls out. He's confused. No one's here. I think that's my entire move. He doesn't know there's a problem yet.
Is this pre or post massage?
Post. Place showered.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know. I've been to a place before where they wiped me down with a wet cloth at the start.
Short rounds just in the corner, like, yeah, I did it.
And here's a story which I probably shouldn't tell on the internet, but here we go. Here's a little tidbit, a little side stuff.
Okay.
Yes, in that massage.
Let's stuff this bird.
Yep.
Yes, I remembered. Way too late.
It's funny you should say that, Isaac, because one time I went for a massage, and yes, this was an odd one because they were like, get naked, and I was just like, okay. Didn't want to be weird and be like, no. So laid down on the thing. They didn't look at me, but then they got like a warm towel, started wiping me down. And I was just like, okay, that's fair enough. I'm surprised more places don't do this. Wipe me down beforehand. But then right at the end, whoop, just wipe my ass crack deep into the crevice. And I was just like, okay. And that made me so tense. I needed the massage to just be as untense as I was when I walked through the front door. But there you go, everyone. I've had my ass wiped by a random masseuse.
Why?
I don't know. But continuing.
I'm trying to think like. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's just glaze over
right over
the
button. Right over the
sexual
button.
abuse event that happened to you. Thanks for admitting that this isn't therapy.
This is a safe space. Anyway, so
is it?
So, in the background you just hear la 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 la.
Is that you, Short Round?
You're looking around. Looking for the door. Harrison's looking for the door, and he can't see it. There seems to be no door. And then you can hear the like gentle music of the massage parlor. It's just like, I don't know, some lovely oriental music, sound of a babbling brook sort of going by. But over that just slowly gets replaced by the haunting music. And then he just keeps on out of the corner of his eyes thinking that he can see someone. But no one's there.
Oh, so Freddy's first move is just freaking him out.
That's always his first move.
Yeah, no, I know. No, that's good. I'm just making sure that was the end of your turn. Mm-hmm. We're just going to take turns just wandering around and being freaked out. No, Indi wouldn't be scared.
He'd shoot something.
Indi goes into the room that he was just taken care of.
There's no doors.
There's no doors.
There's no doors.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry, I wasn't listening. I don't listen to your half of this whole thing.
That's going to make the game very difficult.
No doors. He goes over to reception and rings the bell. Ding, ding, ding. I'm not sure if you can say if something happens, but
so wait, he comes out of the shower room into reception. That's the way that they've organised this building.
He's gone down the corridor to the reception. There's no doors. He can't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. He just rings the bell. Something's wrong. He's got his hand on his whip, and that bed sheet, that towel is still wrapped around it.
Well, Indy's sort of going to look around a little bit, but when he turns back to the desk, there's someone standing there. They're not facing him, sort of like just like bolt upright, arms at the side, and looking away, with the hair down and just standing there.
It's fucking horrible. Ma'am, he is going to. He's got his whip off of his hip somehow that it was attached after coming out of the shower. And he's just going to kind of go around the back of reception and grab her shoulder and try and turn her around.
Well, when he turns her around, it's just going to be Freddy's burnt up face under the sort of masseuse's outfit with the wig on and maybe a little hat as well.
I'm genuinely disgusted.
And he's just going to go, "Where's your massage?" And just sort of, and then just like pull up the claw hand and sort of wave it in the air a little bit, as he tends to do.
Indi unfazed. I'm phased. Indi unfazed. It's just going to go for an uppercut. Just a straight uppercut into Freddy's chin. I think that's what Indi would do.
That's definitely a very Harrison Ford thing.
Just left hook straight up into Freddy. What's the game?
Just reminded me of that Family Guy bit where he's just punching people going, "Where's my family?"
Yeah, okay, so I nailed it. Good.
So he's going to uppercut him in the chin. The head's just going to revolve a 360 as if it's not even attached at the neck, and just goes, "Here I am!" And then he's going to just slash out across his open, bare chest with the knife fingers.
Oh, no, I think that gets those gashing wounds open. Indi staggers back, whips off his towel. He's completely in the nude. It's not a towel, it's a crusty sheet. And he throws it at Freddy, but it's a ruse. He's trying to kind of distract, to blind, and he's just going to coil the whip back, waiting for Freddy to pull the sheet out of the way, and he's ready to crack the whip as soon as there's an opportunity.
Okay, Freddy is going to pull down the sheet, and as the whip launches towards him, as the sheet sort of comes down, the jar of bullet ants raises up, and as the whip wraps around it, and as Indi pulls it back, he just throws the jar at himself of bullet ants, which smashes into his chest.
Why did it have to be ants? I guess I had to say that, right? And yeah, so he's got ants all over him.
No, you really didn't.
He's trying to claw them off. Freddy's there, being freaky as fuck. And Indi is going to... he's going to go for a tackle. He's going to try and tackle Freddy to the ground.
With his own tackle out.
He's naked. Completely naked. In this dream world.
Yeah. So Freddy just takes it. He takes the hit and lies down on the floor, smushing the bullet ants onto him more and into his wounds, and just laughing. Harrison doesn't know the only way to beat Freddy yet. Will he figure it out? We don't know.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how Harrison would feasibly, Indi would feasibly figure this out. He's a smart guy. He's a history teacher. He's a decipherer of code.
A thief of modern and ancient.
A white thief of minorities' art. And I think he's starting to realise that this is beyond the realms of reality. Not sure how to get out of it. The pain is real across his chest. That gash, the bullet ant bites. I feel like this might end it early. I feel like the only way that he could figure to get out of this is to just grab the sawn-off shotgun underneath the receptionist's table and just fucking blow his own head off. That's his first move when he thinks maybe this isn't real. The pain hasn't got him out of it. I think he's thinking he's taking agency. He's taking initiative. It's you wake up before you hit the pavement in a dream. Do you know what I mean? It's you don't actually die. This is a man, by the way, who knows God exists, who is aware that aliens exist, has seen magic happen in the Temple of Doom with the whole Kali Ma
I guess I didn't
thing.
Really, yeah. And has drunk from the Holy Grail, but he's just like, no, this is weird, and blasts himself in the face. Well, yeah, okay. That's where he draws the line. Yeah, but he's clever. He's just figuring things out.
the fact that like the doors are all gone and stuff. Yeah, sure, alien. Do you think God is just gonna like magic doors away? I feel like he's got that bit of insight, that little bit of I think I need to pull the plug on this. So,
but does that mean he wins or loses? Because if you die in a dream, you die for real.
Well, but is it if you kill yourself? Are we rewriting the rules of the Freddy Kruegerverse?
I'm pretty sure in the Freddy Kruegerverse, like you can get yourself woken up, but I think if you die in a dream, you die for real. So if you
kill yourself, maybe that's just part of the fucking nightmare, and you wake up thinking it's all good, and actually no, you're still in a fucking nightmare. So let's
maybe, or maybe it's a draw. I don't know, because Freddy's not a problem anymore if he kills himself.
No, I think Indi wakes up on his like just kind of like bent over, leaning down on his desk, like he's just fallen asleep at his podium or whatever in his lecture theatre lectern. And he's just like, oh guys, it's just a dream, and he.
Yeah, but then looking down and seeing the massive scratch marks, because that's the point. Like, if you get scratched in the dream, that comes through to real life. So he wakes up and then his head explodes from the shotgun. Or is it meant to just be the wounds inflicted by Freddy?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, he's found like a little trigger to get out of it that he thinks.
Okay, interesting. This is going to be one that is not going to be decided now. You in the audience will vote. Okay. We'll put a vote on our Patreon. If anyone's on there by then. If no one's on there, we'll just stick it in the comments or something like that.
People pay for this?
But you vote.
No, I think this should be a free. What? We should.
Okay, fine. Everyone, can you put a poll on like YouTube and things like that?
On anything. I'll find a way. I'll stick my poll on whatever I want to stick my poll on.
Okay, we're gonna launch polls on this one. Harrison Ford has shot himself in the head in the dream world.
Did he win or did he lose? Did the poll will be
or win, lose or draw?
Lose or draw. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I like that, Lewis. A little
because. I really don't know the law well enough of the Freddy Krueger world.
It's like, this is going to go on forever. Harrison Ford will just kill himself. Freddy Krueger's like, oh, still in the nightmare. Kill myself again. Oh, still in the night. Okay, yeah, loop. Poll, I like that. Engage the audience, Lewis. Yeah. That's nice. You
suckers.
Do our job for us. We're dumb.
But let's be fair. My mum gets 2 votes.
Fair enough. That's fine.
Fair enough. Okay, so yes, you decide the first ever time in Nothing But Stuff, but and we'll announce it in the first episode we record after the votes are in. We'll do it like a week or something like that, because we record these in the future sort of thing.
Yeah, we could always...
So we got banked.
Yeah, we could always like just record it and just stick it into the next session. Is that what you're saying? This is episode 9. We should resolve it in episode 10, so we can just go back and add a little section in. Does that ruin the illusion?
Yeah, this is the inner workings of how this podcast works.
Everyone knows podcasts are edited. Like, who are we kidding? I think that the people need to know. They can't wait 10 weeks to find the answer.
Yeah. No. That's yeah. So we'll do it in the following week's release afterwards. So yeah, it will be out in episode 10.
Yeah. We'll take the votes and then we'll make our call, because I think we've said it on this podcast before. Our word is law. So even if the votes go against,
so we're saying we're going to do a poll, let you decide, but also fuck you. We're going to
we'll take it under advisement.
No, let the people. No, the people will decide. Okay. The people will decide.
We'll go with public opinion. Terrible idea. Okay, fine.
Yeah, we're kind of going to live and die on that, aren't we? It's kind of the name of the game.
No, I think people like to hate something, and that's my whole vibe. No, I'm joking.
I like welcome to Debate Stuff, where we decide how this fight is going to
end. All right,
in a discussion lasting nearly as long as Fight Stuff.
Okay, let's move on to our latest installment of the Steven Seagal show. So movie stuff. Lewis, do you wanna kick us off with a synopsis? Because to be honest, I don't fucking know what happened in this movie. Like, I think one of my notes, like 3/4 of the way through, was like, what are they doing? Why? I don't know what's going on.
So,
anyway, yeah, go on.
So, this week we have watched and are about to review 2005's Submerged, starring, if you can call it that, Steven Seagal.
That's one of my notes too. We'll get to that.
with a mighty 3.7 out of 10 rating on IMDb, and it's lucky to have that. Frankly, it's lucky to have that.
That's all just Vinnie Jones.
Oh, God.
Let's not start in the middle.
This is a film? Yeah. Oh, like, my first note on this film is, oh, wow, this is going to be crap.
Oh, mine says wow as well. It says, wow, those intro credits. The intro credits are, like, oddly disturbing. So this movie, the premise of this movie, as far as I can feasibly understand, is that there's, like, a mind control scientist.
Yes.
And who's using like the commodity of mind control against various governments.
Well, he's the one who he's the one who actually has the technology and the know-how to mind control people. Therefore, he can you can literally so at one point later on in the film, there's like an ambassador or someone important's wife that they capture for like a few hours, mind control her, and then send her back out. So that's what you can do with people, and then you've basically got like hidden assassins.
Yeah, it's like sleeper agent shit. But the intro credits are like, bearing in mind that the mind control thing, it's like a horrid, quick panning camera with like nasty, screechy music, and like it's almost like the video from The Ring. The video that kills you after you watch it, 'cause it's just like this.
I'm aware
horrible,
of The Ring.
Almost like 90s quick smash and grab, horrible, like just assault on the senses is how I'm going to finish that horrible description.
Yeah, I mean, you've thought about the intro credits a lot more than I did. I just sort of glazed over
I don't know, I find them interesting.
Because, yeah, well, we then cut to some, what I've called here, amazing drone footage, and I don't mean footage taken from the sky. I mean footage of a drone.
I like when our notes match up. I said, wow, that cardboard toy drone and awful clouds.
Yeah.
It's like someone blowing a cigarette smoke over a piece of cardboard pretending to be a drone.
It's like a foot-long cardboard model which they put in front of a green curtain.
Yeah, it's so bad.
So shit.
So there's a drone flying around. It's taking pictures of some. It's like the mind control scientist's bodyguards or like henchmen or like
the like base.
That or it's like the people that he's supposedly working for at the time, but they're working for him actually, kind of thing. Is that right? Am I on the right lines here?
Maybe.
Right. It's so incomprehensible.
Yeah,
and then the drone gets blown up by these henchmen people with the worst effects again. Just like someone put like a piece of transparent paper over the screen with like a little plane on, and then like put it out with the same cigarette that they were making the smoke with on the drone.
Well, I've told you, Isaac, the budget in these films go, number one, into money laundering, number two, to pay off people that Steven Seagal sexually assault, and number three, to pay for all the dubbing which is required on his part, which I'm getting to later.
So the first time we touch on any mind control is it's like a group of FBI agents or a group of agents.
Yes,
pacing through a corridor, and there's one of them is unreasonably sweaty. I noticed.
Yes, I've got this. This guy is so sweaty.
He's like, "Hey, look at this!" to his like female boss. They don't need names, these people. And he holds up like a shitty piece of cardboard, which they're pretending is like a tablet. And he's like, "Hey, look at this!" The sweaty man with his shitty cardboard tablet. And then I think they're showing the footage of what the drone took before it got blown up.
The drone, it's looking at the base.
And then the female boss, turns on them and just like everyone dies. They shoot each other essentially.
Well, yeah, but then at the end, the like
the end of the scene or the end of the movie?
Oh, God, Jesus! The end of the scene. The like agents which have killed everyone, like have infiltrated and killed everyone, then synchronized shoot themselves.
Yeah.
So like they all stand in a triangle.
Standoff.
Why didn't they all just shoot themselves in the head? Because the chances are that you can time it so the two of them don't kill two,
damn it.
and then there's one left alive.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't they just blow their own heads off? No, they had to do this, like, triangular, we'll call it countdown on 3, 3, 2, 1, bang. It's so fucking stupid.
And then, this next bit, I fucking loved it. So we cut to a helicopter. Because, well, it's not really a helicopter. They're nowhere near a real helicopter. They've got a cardboard, pretend, cargo
the
bay.
Worst CG.
There's, the colonel, who's in this... There's like an over-the-top, overacting guy. At least he's acting, though. Who's like talking to his buddies and they're having fun. And then he's like, I'm going to go talk to the colonel. And he goes over to this guy who's like, looking like he's about to have a panic attack. Who has zero emotion, like when he talks. And I think he says, I've got a shitty feeling about this one, man. Like that, in that kind of like bland tone. And it's like, again, like the last movie, is he trying to be English or South African? Like, I don't know who this guy is. But I just want to move on. Cause when the helicopter's like coming in, they've got a guy on the ground. I love this guy. It's amazing. They're trying to land, essentially. They're trying to assault this nation. And so they radio to the guy on the ground, who is just like a stoner sitting in a hut in board shorts. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Who holds up some binoculars, looks directly at the helicopter that's coming in, and he's supposed to be like recon or like surveillance or something. He just goes, yeah, everything's clear. Like, he's not looking at anything except the helicopter who he's trying to protect. So, yeah, it's clear. That's the sky. And then immediately gets shanked from behind. Just not clear at all.
I have one extra note from the helicopter bit, and it's just the fact that one of them is called Friendly Fire. One of them is everyone in the army gets a nickname, and they decided to call one of them Friendly Fire. Who did he kill?
Come on, guy who unpins grenades too early. Let's go.
Absolutely incredible. But then they're on the ground, and Vinnie Jones. I think it's Vinnie Jones.
No, he's not there yet. I think this is just a group of random soldiers.
So but it's one of the guys who gets like mind controlled later. It is Vinnie Jones, okay, I swear, because there's that woman with the goats walking towards them, and I was just like, bad time for acid hell flashbacks with Goat Lady, because he's just like, it's swapping her out, and he's like, but it's going into like a hellscape behind.
Yeah, I think that's like a reference to like the intro credits again. It's like that. They're trying to do this psychedelic kind of mental trauma.
Mind control.
I wrote on that bit, oh my god, the quick zoomy camera work is horrendous. Because it was just like zooming in and out and panning all over the place, like the cameraman's having a stroke. So that wasn't great. So that whole scene, I mean, what is there to say? The woman has a bomb, and the guy hesitates, and someone else shoots her and she explodes and kills all the goats, poor goats.
The real victims of this film.
And then my favourite bit of the movie. Well, not as much. My favourite bit of the movie is the guy who says it's all clear whilst looking at the helicopter. It's amazing. But when Steven Seagal is introduced, because they play some like knock-off knock-off AC/DC music, slow motion. He's so overweight. He just like kind of hobbles in. He's supposed to do this like, is he in prison? He's in prison, isn't he?
I thought he was on a boat. It looks like he's on like a boat.
I'm pretty sure he's no, because the whole deal.
No, I know he is arrested, but I thought that he was arrested and like locked down on a boat.
I don't remember the boat.
It looks like they're walking around a ship.
But he's basically like, he comes into the room. He's in like handcuffs, I guess, and immediately. He has this thing of, like, trying to talk, and I don't want to be offensive, but ghetto? Like, he's trying to be black?
Oh, he does. He puts on voices around different people that he is in different films.
But in this whole movie, he's like, he's always like, hey, man, and, like, I don't want to I don't want to imitate the horrendously offensive accent that he's doing. But he can barely talk.
I will. Hey, man, how's it going, man? Yeah. I think it's about time we go down there.
Hey, cuz.
And he has, it is later on
I think
in the
I've
film.
got the same line.
I'm going to say it now.
You do it now.
Some sick shit up in here, alligator.
You got the tone perfect. Alligator.
Because Vinnie Jones's character, I'm sure, is called Alligator. Yeah. I'm not sure, but it's just the way when they walk into a room later on, it's just like, there's some sick shit up in here, Alligator.
His name is Henry, but they never call him Henry. Like they do the whole like heist movie exactly the same like the last movie we watched with Steven Seagal. The heist movie zoom in with the names and the freeze frame. He's called Henry, but they never call him that. He's Alligator. So it's like, why didn't you just write Alligator? Yeah,
and every single film, he's got to be like, X guy who did this. Like, he's arrested in this because he stopped the next 9/11, but the damn UN thought he did something. He preempted and blew something up, which was going to hurt people.
The line that they say is, another 9/11 except at sea. What? I just wrote what after it. Another 9/11 except at sea. Okay.
At sea.
Oh, amazing.
Oh god. Now I have to get onto a very important point of this film. That it's criminal that Steven Seagal was given full credit for acting his part in this film because he voices under half of his lines.
Okay, so it's not moving around in the plot, but I've got several notes on this. One of them is I feel like he's not actually in the movie because they rarely show him next to anyone. It's just like him talking to a camera.
He comes in and blasts it all out in 4 or 5 days, and then they just paste it in throughout the movie.
I actually looked it up because I was like, this is crazy. Apparently he left during shooting due to disagreements with the production crew and stuff, so he genuinely just isn't there. There's a great bit.
There's a lot of body doubles.
Yeah, one of my other ones is I think it's one of the next ones actually. I'm pretty sure he got a body double to walk up a steady, shallow hill.
Mate, he does that in all. That's just not this film as well. He does it in the last film that we were watching. When you're looking out for it, it's so common. Literally, there'll be some scenes where he's just getting up, standing up, or walking upstairs.
It's just not him.
He's just like, I'm just not doing it. It's just too much effort. I ain't doing that.
Alligator.
So stick it up in here, alligator.
Yeah. So that was. God. He's the worst, and I've told audience, ladies and gentlemen, and others. I've told Lewis I'm not doing another Steven Seagal movie for a while. I refuse. I will edit it out. I will edit it out. I mean, maybe later. I think you had a good idea of doing a watch along kind of thing for Patreon. That could be fun. But otherwise, I'm not doing it.
A commentary.
Yeah. So moving on from, I'm pretty sure he got a body double to walk up a shallow hill. I wrote, I kinda, with several eyes, have no idea what's going on. There's South American gangsters and a scientist and Steven's team doing stealthy shit. Why are they on a submarine? It's just this crazy mashed together thing.
No, Isaac, you're not paying attention. So they go to the evil scientist. By the way, when was the last time you saw a film with the villain being an evil scientist? Kind of like that throwback. Yeah.
And he was actually a decent actor.
However,
he's okay.
No, he was not.
He's okay.
No, he was not. No. In comparison to the turds that were around him, he was.
Okay, so he's a polished turd amongst the other turds.
You can roll a turd in glitter; it's still a turd.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay, fair enough.
The next line that really caught my attention was when they hand something and they go, portable devices. And I was like, wow, portable devices. That's so impressive. This is 2006. The iPod is out. It's fine. Then my next note is, this sub is a rusty piece of shit. But the reason they go on the sub, Isaac, is because they attack his base and that's how they escape.
Jeez. Okay.
So they take a submarine and oh my god, that's their escape plan as well. It's not like everything else falls apart and they jump on.
I just didn't even get that. I just didn't get it. And I think you said it.
I
think you said
blame
it
you.
when you introduced the movie in the last episode. It's called Submerged, and the submarine lasts 10 minutes, maybe less. Like that.
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's like just not there. Like, nothing to do with a submarine. Why did you call it Submerged? I don't.
But before Stephen and the gang actually get onto the submarine with Vinny and all that, there's a nice little scene where they're facing up against like 30 guys and a tank.
Oh my god, yeah, I love
So there's
this
like
bit.
6 of them stand in the open, just firing from
They
the
just make a line in a tunnel
Yeah.
against an army. It's like it's a whole army. And a tank, as you say.
And then they need to get... How are they going to stop the tank? Obviously,
Stephen's
body double is going to jog up to it
so slowly.
and then drop a hand grenade in, and then his body double's going to jog back, and no one even gets hit. Like, no one even gets winged. Like, it's pathetic. And there's one particular bit there where they're all firing down the tunnel. If you watch that scene again, there's a guy on the right, so everyone's looking down the tunnel. This guy's at a 45-degree angle, shooting the wall of the tunnel, like in Stephen's group. Like,
amazing.
Like, I can't, like, if you watch, they're all just facing one way, and then this other guy, he's like blind or something.
I wrote, the old man waddling over to blow up the tank that couldn't hit a line of people shooting at them in a tunnel for 10 minutes. It's like so long. There's another great, do you remember in the last Steven Seagal one, there's like a bit where he's on the floor and he's about to like kill someone and they're like, don't do it. And he's like, yeah, okay then. Like he kind of gets up like really casually.
Yes.
There's another one in this one. First of all, he says a line that makes 0 sense. I think he's talking to Alligator. Which, to dial back a little bit, the kind of another bit of the premise is him and his quote-unquote crew are all in prison, and part of the deal is do this job and the crew will be all let free kind of thing. So the prison bit's important there. So he says, I won't do the voice as well as you, but I'll try. I've seen some people change in prison, but I don't think you do. Which makes no sense. I've seen some people change in prison, but I don't think you do. This is to Alligator. And Alligator says, yeah, well, I can do a good Vinnie Jones. Sometimes change isn't always a good thing. And Stephen's reaction is, that's true. And just kind of like, walk. It's like so resigned and bored. Like, oh, that's true. Yeah, all right. And just like walks away. I was just like, oh, perfect.
Oh, no. You've reminded me of another line earlier on, which is when they're just like, Vinnie Jones, Alligator just goes, okay, so if they let us all out, what stops us from just running off? And Stephen just goes, well, you wouldn't want to miss out on the fun. And then that's it. It's just like, no, you could still escape. Like, they're letting you out of prison. You're a very dangerous person. You're going to be unsupervised. You could just walk off.
That's another. It's
like, no one's watching.
Is Alligator the sniper? I think he is the sniper, isn't he?
I think there's about 4 in this film.
I think that's like his specialty. So there's a bit when they're I think it's when they're about to assault the submarine or something. They're attacking something. I don't give a shit. And I think, Stephen does one of his classic shots where he's just standing in a random woodland, which is like a completely different woodland to what everyone else is standing in the actual scene.
It's outside of his garden because he couldn't.
And he says something along the lines of "no noise." And Vinnie Jones's character, Alligator, his way of doing no noise is shooting an exploding barrel. Like that's his solution, and his justification for that is that apparently the explosion will instantly burn their throat closed, so they won't scream. And it's like, okay, but you just made an explosion, and I don't think that's true. People on fire scream.
Like, this film was written and made by people on so much cocaine.
Oh god, I'm so jealous.
But then we get to like my Isaac, stop it. Now then we get to another scene where so there's obviously 2 girls in this.
Oh yeah, I got that
one. who don't like each other, and there's at one point where they're like arguing, and my note is here. These 2 ladies are going to fight. My next note is or kiss. And my next line is, maybe both? Question mark.
I just wrote, women fighting for no reason. There's just no reason. Because they're women, and apparently the viewers, and they're probably not wrong, want to watch that. The audience, the target audience, probably want to see that. Complete fucking morons, by the way.
And us.
And us, yeah, no. I'm forced into it, Lewis.
But then we're on the submarine by this point, and I like the fact that there's, like, the engines are, like, wobbling around on the floor. This is a military vehicle, and the engines are bolted down. And then there's the little bit where they're, like, getting... There was some, like, sleeper agents, which they were like, trying to get out, and then the sleeper agents are, like, activated, and so they hold a gun against the guy driving the submarine, and he, like, turns around all cocky, just like, do you think you could drive a sub? And so they keep him alive. And how does he drive the sub? He pushes the lever slightly forward.
Totally got it. This is so complicated.
I was just like, yeah, I think I could probably do that, mate.
Yeah, I definitely picked that up. And while they're on the submarine, so one of the people in the crew is like the medic, and so far has said nothing. I thought he was a mute. I thought that was like part of his character. And he just like says like, yeah, at some point for like no reason. But so someone gets, I can't remember who, someone gets shot in the chest several times. So the medic like pulls him off and puts him on a table to quote unquote operate.
Pulls him off,
tugs him off. Where? So okay, he is the medic. I'm not a doctor, but I have a rough idea of like anatomy. A biology degree. I like to flout it sometimes. He just full on opens up the guy's chest to get the bullets out. To get the bullets out, he like does like an autopsy. I think it's called like a Y incision on the chest to like get through the sternum. No, that's not how it works, dude. And then when that doesn't work, shockingly, he starts doing chest compressions on the open chest. Like, not like Casualty or like some hospital hospital drama where, like they kind of gently wrap their hand around the heart and get it back. He's just like full on like CPR, like pushing down on this guy's open chest. And I was just like, nah, I don't think so. I don't know if you picked this up, Lewis. There's another one of Stephen's classic lines. Okay.
Is it said by Stephen? Or is it said by his dubbing?
No. I hope it's Stephen, because I don't know how anyone could physically read this on a script. This is verbatim. I'm going to say it in his voice, and then I'm going to go over it in a normal, like, person with more than 3 brain cells.
That was the original?
I'm thinking of taking an 18 group, throwing them into the Zodiac and heading for Clinton. I'm thinking of taking an 18 group, throwing them into the Zodiac, and heading for Clinton. I wrote afterwards, what the actual fuck did you just say?
Wait, so let's try and decipher this. I'm thinking of taking an 18 group. That's obviously, in Steven Seagal land, a group of 18-year-old girls.
Okay. Throwing them
into
the Zodiac.
Throwing them into the Zodiac. Getting on a spaceship with them and flying into space.
And heading for Clinton. The president? I think he's the president at the time. 2005?
There must be Bush. A place called... There must be...
Yeah, of course there is. But that string of words, I had to rewind. I very rarely rewind a movie. I had to rewind and listen to it again. Like, no way did he just say anything that was actually a word. And then I looked it up and I was like, no, he said that. So yeah, I thought that was brilliant. I'm thinking of taking an 18 group, throwing them in a Zodiac and hanging for Clinton. Okay, buddy.
What we need to do is somehow make a theme tune for this, a new theme tune for our show, but like make it around that line. I don't know.
I can do some magic, baby. I got an AS in music production.
Okay, so I think I'm skipping a little bit further. We're already out of the submarine again in my notes. But the next note that I have, so I don't know why I clocked this, but people are going to judge me for this, but here we go. So I wasn't staring at them, I promise. But the black lady... But the black lady in this film, who I swear is actually an actual actor and has done things.
Yes. Let's give her.
Is Christine Adams? Yes, Christine Adams. What's she been in?
Yeah. She's the one of the women who's fighting the other woman for no reason.
Yes. Yeah. I think I may be thinking of someone else because I've just seen her top TV shows and movies, and this is included. So she aren't.
Batman Begins. Girl with a.
She's
not. She is. She's Jessica.
When?
Jessica. She's the Barbados TV reporter in Daniel Craig's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
She's been in like a good role.
Love, Death and Robots, Castlevania. She's like a voice actress as well. She's genuine.
I swear I remember seeing her.
I think she's one of those people that is in a little bit of everything.
I can't think. Who the fuck is Jessica in Batman
she'll
Begins?
Be some of
background.
Yeah, but
bullshit.
do you know what I mean? Those actors that are just in like one episode of every TV show ever. She's in like EastEnders. Anyway, carry on.
It's beside the point. But okay, she's wearing like a sleeveless top in this film, and she's wearing a bra throughout the film. Then she gets captured and put into prison. No bra. The bra is off. Nothing else is taken from her. But then they take her out of prison. The bra is back on. I don't know why I clocked this. Are bras not allowed in prison? Did they think she was going to hang her? I imagine in actual prison they might not be. But there's no way that Steven Seagal had that much attention to detail, or the people that made this film thought, we need to get that bit right. So, was it just that one day she turned up on set with the bra? I think she just forgot.
I think this is
But it's like, it's so perfectly done that before, because after that, I was just like watching her, and just like...
You're just watching her.
Staring at her tits and being like, is she still wearing a bra?
You had a snap at me for making a cocaine comment, and you're spending like a quarter of the podcast talking about tits.
Because this is an observation.
It's a terrible one, Lewis. It's a terrible one.
It's
like you went off on that woman about her eyebrows in the last Steven Seagal one. It was
I pay attention to details.
Useless details, Lewis. Useless. I have a bit of trivia, though, for you.
Oh, please. I love trivia. Trivia. Welcome to trivia stuff.
On the submarines, Stephen has like a hand-to-hand combat fight. I think it's like one of the only ones that he...
Sitting down.
No, he isn't actually.
There is a sitting down fight scene in here because I've got a note about it.
It's like a kind of climax. It's a guy called Sharp, who's like one of the main antagonists in this. So apparently it was supposed to be a longer, showier fight between them, but
Stephen got tired
with choreography and everything. But last minute, Stephen showed up and completely changed the choreography to something shorter and completely one-sided. So it was supposed to be like this, like trading blows and stuff. But he was like, "Nah, I don't want to do it for nearly as long, and I want to win immediately."
That's
legend.
No. We can't start referring to Steven Seagal as a legend. I can't remember exactly what bit this refers to, but I've got double cross ? No, double cross. So
okay, well, the fact that you can't remember what it is a bit useless.
No, but there's a double cross.
Okay, so you remember the scientist's lab in generic South American country that they had at the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they ever named it. The scientist, obviously, that lab falls apart, gets raided, blah blah blah. So he gets a new lab. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but it's the same fucking lab, just with some metal sheeting. Like they put some metal sheets up and clean it a bit.
Maybe the layout's very important for the feng shui of the science.
It's just the same fucking set. So obviously, and I like the classic terrible movie sign of like, if you go past the border into like anywhere Mexico and South, you just put an orange filter on it and you're good to go.
And you put some maracas
because they're obviously not in South America, so it's like it's just like Chicago and they just put an orange filter on it.
This is all filmed in Eastern Europe. I bet you anything.
That's an amazing bit in South America. You know, when like you hide, espionage.
Mm-hmm.
you know, like cartoons when you hide in espionage? Yeah, Steven Seagal hides behind a newspaper.
Yes, from a sniper.
He's standing up. He's not even like sitting in a cafe. He's like standing at the side of the road with the newspaper, like peering over the top.
Bearing in mind that he got out of a taxi, walked to that spot, then picked up the newspaper and opened it, and the fucking sniper saw him get out the car.
Yeah. Oh, there's a great bit. They go to a bar in this South American place to like group up and talk about stuff. Like everything's gone wrong and they need to regroup. First of all, there's this random English bar chick who just has a bunch of intel. No idea who she is, but she's like somehow integral to the story suddenly.
And they insult her a lot.
They're horrible to her. And then I think is it Alligator kind of returns, like they think he might be dead or something. So he knocks on the
glass,
window.
yes.
Yeah, I love this. This is okay, picture this, audience. It's like a cafe. There's like big windows, there's a big set of double doors, all with like glass panes, completely clear glass panes. Vinnie Jones comes up, does like a basic knock, like just like 3 knocks on the window that you can see through. And Stephen goes, "I know that knock."
I know.
And it's like, he's right there.
You're looking at him.
I know that knock. Yeah, I know that face. It's the guy.
It's your friend who you've known for years, and everyone calls Alligator.
And then they just start randomly introducing characters.
Yeah.
Loads more characters. We're 2/3 of the movie in. Loads of new characters. And you're like, what the fuck is this writing?
It's because Steven Seagal left set and they had to fill up the rest of the runtime somehow. So the next note I've got is that there are an opera, which Steven Seagal... Oh, this is cunning. Cunning as a fox. So he needs to get into an opera. And he needs to also, meet this South American leader. And so he's just like, oh, okay, so we've got the ambassador. He can get in there.
So it's the US. It's the US ambassador, and then the El Presidente of whatever country there. Yeah, I can't remember.
Something like that. It was always El Presidente.
Yeah.
Probably 60% of his films has an El Presidente in them.
Yeah.
But what does he do? He's just like, right, okay, I need to get into this place. I know, I will impersonate this man who's 8 inches shorter than me, 400 kilograms lighter, and it just looks nothing like me. And no one bats an eyelid. He just walks up and says, I'm the ambassador. And they just go, welcome, ambassador.
Like, these are... Okay, so this is a country full of these South Americans. The ambassador is going to be like a big public figure, because it's like one of the most high-ranking US people in the area. How the fuck does no one know who he is? Like the president, El Presidente, like that his job is to speak to an ambassador. Like that's their job. How he like goes up to him like, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like, wait, sorry, no. You can't just... He's not even wearing a disguise. It's just Stephen.
He literally goes with the actual ambassador's wife. Because he's just like, yeah, she's hot. I'll just walk with her. She's real hot.
Zodiac.
I've got a promising career as Steven Seagal's next dubbing artist. Yeah, you fucking do. I'll take you. Where are the massage shows over there?
There's, I think, just... The opera scene obviously goes all fucked. They open fire and shit. There's like one of the guys on the crew, on Steven's crew, gets like shot and then just kind of like hobbles out into the middle of the stage and starts spraying bullets. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, no, like he is shooting at some of the people that are mind controlled, but I think he gets like hit on the head or shot, and he's like wounded and staggering around. Then Vinnie Jones like gets fucking destroyed.
Oh, I wrote Vinnie Jones got fucked
because he gets shot from like the 3rd balcony up, falls down, and then wangs his head off of one of the balconies.
Gets so screwed. It's amazing.
Yeah, like fucking destroyed. Another question I have as well, though. I understand, right, that this has got a lot of dignitaries out at this thing, but there's extra security around it. there's extra, super. So when the president goes somewhere or the prime minister goes somewhere, if they go to the theatre, what they do is they don't keep the regular security there. They replace them with the extra trained, extra special security. So may I ask, why do the security at this opera, they just leave in the normal ones and have them, and why are they carrying guns? Why does opera security need to carry weapons?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that one.
But because there's two circumstances. One, they actually normally carry guns. Or number two, they armed the regular security guards. And neither makes any sense.
Take this, you'll be fine. I'm not trained, I'm like a cinema security.
Neither of those scenarios make sense. Now, we are getting a little bit in, so I have a couple notes left. How many have you got?
There's a couple things I want to talk about.
Okay. So I'm going to pick one or two. Well, at one point he's driving the ambassador, Stephen, and he says to Stephen, "Pull up here, I'll get them to let us in." And Stephen decides instead to kill an innocent man by running over him. There's one genuinely cool bit in this film where he fights what I've called the giant black bruiser man, like the really heavy set guy who's like really strong, comes out of the elevator, they fight for a while, and then he like executes him with like a really cool gunshot, but then just throws the gun away. Like he shot one bullet. He's never shot that gun in the film before. He's just like, no, that just had one bullet. They make a rabbit poo joke for some reason, and right at the very end, they're all sitting there celebrating their victory, and they go,
classic cut to Stephen at the end of a very funny joke. Yeah, like, you don't hear the joke, but it cuts into it, and he's just looking. Yeah.
And then afterwards, they're just like, okay, so let's raise a glass to all our friends that died. This is an incredibly sad moment. And the black lady just goes, chin chin. And I was just like, what a way to end this film. Fucking well done.
Yeah. So just backtracking to a couple of bits that I thought were ridiculous okay, actually one of them, I think they spent all the budget on a helicopter crash. Because there's a helicopter crash after or during the opera
which looks kind of real.
And it actually looked okay. I was like, oh, there it is. Like, that's actually decent action.
The budget.
That is the whole budget. Like a proper helicopter crash. That was decent. So the scientist, he has a henchman, like his number two. He's the guy that Stephen fights on the submarine halfway into the movie. Mm-hmm. So like one of like the main kind of baddies, I guess. So he's wiped out halfway into the movie. That was the one which should have been longer and showier, but Stephen was like, no, I want to win and make it, I'm tired. So that henchman's gone. Okay? That was sharp. Later, the scientist has a new number two, who I think was like the coffee guy on set or something. He's got like some long hair. Every line he has, he's like leaning too close to the other actors. Pretty sure he looks at the camera at one point, and all of his lines are like, oh yeah, like, okay, sure. Like, he has like this bland, he does not know, he's not supposed to be there.
Excellent
They just
delivery.
needed another number two. It was perfect. And when Stephen storms the scientist's lab at the end, I couldn't think of the word lab, I work in a lab, He kicks a guy. He kicks a guy through like the plate glass window. That guy, when he gets kicked by Stephen,
flies.
Swear to God, 45 feet. Like, just like, he gets like cartoon kicked across an entire building through glass. Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, the classic cut to Stephen at the end of a very, very funny joke that you don't actually hear. It's just so good.
And I've got one thing that we're going to end on, so have you got anything else?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so we must also just draw out another incredible line of Stephen's in this film. I think it's like really close to the start as well or something. But we're just going to flash back because...
Okay. Our reviews are terrible, let's be honest. We just pick out funny things. A lot of them.
Yeah, just don't watch this one though, guys. Jesus. But he's just pointing at a map in front of all of his friends, and because Steven Seagal had to have some lines in this film, they had to keep some of his terrible, terrible lines. They decided to keep the one where he points a knife at a point on a map and goes, right about, yeah. Right about...
Yeah.
Like, I don't... What was he going for? But anyway, Isaac, floppy or sloppy?
Oh, God, Lewis. I told you, I'm not doing another Steven Seagal for 100 episodes. We could do it for our 100th episode. How about that?
No, that's Interstellar.
Fuck that. I'm not listening to you rant about Interstellar. We talked about this.
Yes, you will.
That's a Patreon thing for the poor, poor souls that want to get sucked into your pyramid scheme of Interstellar. It was so floppy.
This was the most flaccid floppy that I've ever experienced.
I don't want to use the word better anywhere near Steven Seagal.
The other one was much better.
The last one was much better, and it was still awful.
The other one we rated sloppy, I'm sure.
Did we?
Yeah, because we were just like, this is garbage, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, okay. No, this one, we just went over the whole film. I still don't really know what it was about.
a man mind controlling, and he's in he gets like he's starting to work with the government.
What?
But
I don't know.
Some sick shit up in here, alligator.
Till 18 to go. Okay. Okay, Steve.
Well, we're going to end this film review right about here. And we're going to go into the last segment of the day. And yes.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis fucked it and didn't write a scenario, so it's not RPG stuff, is it, Lewis?
RPG stuff is all about being off the cuff and doing things. But no, we were having too much fun with them. So guess what, guys? Welcome to quiz stuff. Another one. That's
the quiz stuff thing.
And you, Isaac, you are going to get a bonus points if you can guess what this quiz is about.
Okay, you did this last time, and I guessed it on the first question.
Yeah, I've looked through this one. This one's more difficult. I'll be your quiz host because I'm the fucking host. And Isaac, what are these options? Mm-hmm. What were you like in high school? Number 1, messy. Number 2, regular, I guess. Number 3, class clown. Number 4, sporty. Number 5, troublemaker. Number 6, popular. There's a lot of answers. Number 7, overachiever. Number 8, nerdy. Or number 10... No, number 9. Fucking hell.
Nice one, bro.
Not cool.
I like regular because it's like when you first said it, I was like, what, my bowel movements? Like very regular. Well, way more regular than I am now.
No, one chance you've answered regular, I guess you pooped a long time.
Was I regular? Nerdy. If we're going honest, nerdy. Always have been. Still am.
How do you spend... Question number 2. How do you spend your free time?
Are there 10 options to every...
No, 9. Yeah. How do you spend your free time, Isaac? Really going for it.
This is not school anymore. Just free time in general.
No. This is just how... What do you do right now in your free time?
Okay, what free time?
Number 2, chilling. Uh-huh. Number 3, partying. Uh-huh. Number 4, being cool as hell. Number 5, weird, dangerous stuff. Number 6, reading. Number 7, sex, all in capitals. I don't know if that's different from regular sex.
Just fucking non-stop.
Number 8, pranks. Or number 9, sport games.
Who the fuck spends their free time doing pranks? What a cunt.
I spend all of mine doing uppercase sex.
Uppercase sex. Oh yeah, I got so much free time. I'm going to do some pranks. I have no friends or loved ones.
I'm a grown man in my 30s, so I just do pranks.
I mean, I want to answer stupidly, but again, if we're going for the honest answer, it's chill. Chill.
Okay.
My free time is spent trying to get like 3 minutes sleep on the sofa before I have to do something for the kids.
Trying to not get poop in your eyes. Genuine pink eye in the household.
I have pink eye right now.
Next question. Pick your favourite celebrity out of these ones. Miley Cyrus, Ryan Gosling, Beyonce. Obviously, you're going to pick Beyonce. Jennifer Lawrence, Rihanna, Benedict Cumberbatch, Abraham Lincoln, Justin Timberlake,
Celebrity?
Justin Timberlake, or Drake? How is that one?
What? They're all alive except one of them.
For now.
God, Abraham Lincoln's so hot right now. Ryan Gosling, probably.
Gosling.
I mean, is he even a celebrity? I haven't seen anything about him for ages, but I like him. I like his movies.
He's very good in First Man. We should review that at
Drive.
some point. Drive is overrated. Which best describes you? Goofy, boring, super fun, cool.
Super fun. Super fun.
4,
Uppercase.
4, cool. This is gonna be you. Number 5, YOLO E.
What does the E mean?
Is it YOLO-Y? I don't fucking know.
YOLO-y. That's how I describe myself. Is that what was the question?
Which best describes you? But we've got more.
Okay, yeah.
Sophisticated,
YOLO-y.
hot, nerdy, or ridic?
Okay, so I really hope someone does this questionnaire and does YOLO-y and pranks as their answers, because I just want to meet that person.
We definitely need to post the links for these quizzes when we do them.
We will.
In
we
the
will,
video.
we will.
You can play along at home.
I made a bank of all these things.
Excellent.
I call it my spank bank.
God.
Oh God.
Which one is it, Isaac?
Oh God, the whole I mean, again, nerdy, right? It's the second time it's been on the list, but it's true again.
Let's go.
I'm trying to figure out what this quiz is
Yeah, mate,
about.
if you guess it, I'll be fucking amazed. Pick a baby animal. Pig, duck, elephant. What the fuck is that?
These aren't the names of any of those as babies.
Yeah, I know, but which is your favourite baby version of these animals? Pig, duck, elephant, sloth, goat, rabbit, dog, cat, llama.
What? Ridic. Let's say ridic. I'm going to YOLO this one. I'm going to go for my favourite. I mean, in real life, a dog, but a baby sloth sounds pretty fucking awesome. Go sloth.
Okay, you've gone for it. Next question. Describe your personal style. Non-existent. Classic.
There we go, done.
Classic. Damn stylish. Minimalist. Vintage. Trend.
Minimalist? That nudist?
Loincloth.
Yeah, right?
Non-existent.
Oh,
classic.
sorry.
Damn stylish. Minimalist. Vintage. Trendy. Sexual. Practical. Sloppy.
Who goes out their day dressing sexual?
You're looking at it right here. Thank you very much.
The prankster YOLO-y. Non-existent. Like the only time I get T-shirts is when my godmother buys me them from America. The only time I get socks is just more black socks because I've ran out of the last.
Well,
it's
easy to match up your socks if they're all black.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going non-existent.
Yeah, and if I'm in the house, I am in trackies. If I'm out of the house, it's like the one pair of jeans.
You throw on a pair of jeans over the trackies.
If it's cold, I will, yeah.
100%. Such a great idea.
No, non-existent will be truthful.
Okay, that's fine. And
where's the one about hairstyle?
which of these annoyances is worse? PDA, that's public displays of affection. Slow internet, bad high five.
All of these are annoying.
Weird smell, wet socks, so hungry, awkward hug, no pink starburst, cat doesn't like you.
What's the question again?
Which of these annoyances is worse?
The worst. Oh, okay. From the top again, just real quick. There's too many options in your shitty quiz.
PDA, slow internet, bad high five, weird smell, wet socks, so hungry, awkward hug, no pink starburst, cat doesn't like you.
I don't give a fuck about cats.
You have a cat.
I don't give a shit about her. No, she's lovely. They're all horrible. I don't like any of them. But I strongly don't like PDA.
PDA?
Let's go PDA.
Okay.
Gross.
You're stuck on a desert island. What do you want with you?
The YOLO-y prankster, please. I'll kill him and use his bones as a shelter.
Number 1, sexy people. Next one, a big help sign. Next option, a full service bar. Next one, sunscreen. The next one, a dolphin army. What the fuck?
Yeah, well...
Next one, a big floppy hat. Next one, a boat. Next one, a good book. Or number 9, scuba gear. So one of the options is escape, and the rest of them is just remaining.
Is a hat. Yeah. I'm going with the fucking boat. No, dolphin army.
You could ride the dolphin army.
Yeah, right. If it's an army, that suggests organised. So I'm going to go dolphin army.
Well, if I know which answer you should pick for this next one, and I'll be very disappointed if you don't. Pick your favourite song out of this list. Flawless by Beyonce, Get Back by the Beatles, Sexual Healing by Marvin Gaye, Bad by Michael Jackson, Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake, Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones. It doesn't go like that at all.
It doesn't go like that. It's not even... Okay.
All Me by Drake, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, or the one you're obviously going to pick, Toxic by Britney Spears.
Oh man, that brings me back. We have to post that video at some point. That's a Patreon
That's
only.
Patreon exclusive.
No, I mean everyone can just find it. I told you the other day I found me and Lewis.
No. We're gonna take it down. We're gonna remove that video and we're gonna repost it onto the Patreon only.
Well, we can still tell them now, so it entices them more. When me and Lewis, what, 15?
Yeah,
16?
15.
We did a lip sync video to Britney Spears' Toxic
I
on
did the
YouTube.
lip syncing. You played the guitar.
I played a guitar.
With like a 6-inch long guitar.
A tiny little guitar. And I weirdly was talking about it with a colleague like a few weeks ago and looked it up. It's got 1.6 thousand views. Yeah. That's a lot of views.
Yeah, I mean that's not a lot per year.
15 years. Yeah. Anyway, Give Me Shelter, Rolling Stones.
I'm very disappointed. That means basically once every 3 days, someone is watching that video.
What? That's crazy,
for 15
right?
years.
Someone is looking for Britney Spears Toxic and is like, this looks fun.
Okay, Isaac. That was the end. That was the last question. I didn't realise that was the last question.
Fuck for that.
Okay, what do you think the quiz was about?
What? Just because of what zodiac sign are you? No, that doesn't make sense. Let me try again.
Nothing makes sense. This doesn't make sense. Trust me.
Oh, it's not going to make sense.
No.
Okay. What is your favourite kind of sandwich?
No, but my god, that's weird because the actual thing was what food matches your personality, and your answer was a sandwich.
Oh,
so
that is actually weird. That is weird.
You're a sandwich. You're good in a wide variety of situations. Has anyone ever described you as the girl boy next door? If not, they should.
The girl boy next door. I'm the girl boy next door.
The girl boy next door. That bald bearded man who just walks around in weird t-shirts.
In dresses. But that's fine.
You're easy to get along with and so versatile. Now go snuggle up between 2 pieces of bread. You've earned it. And it's the only thing is though, it's like a cheese and tomato sandwich. Like they picked a really awful sandwich as their picture, but
well, you don't like cheese and that actually sounds decent. But can we just go back to how weird that is? How close
strange.
I was.
That's so weird. What kind of sandwich are you?
I was like,
what?
I was about to say, what car do you drive? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, anyway, okay. Interesting.
Really strange.
Because I do fucking love a sandwich.
I fucking love a sandwich. Every day at lunch, there's me getting a
my
meal
lunch.
deal.
Yeah. Every day. I make my own because I'm made of money. And those things are full of salt and sugar, Lewis.
Yeah, fucking delicious. Don't tell me you don't like salt and sugar. Well, that was fucking weird.
All of the garage sandwiches. Yeah, I'm impressed at the weird fate that we have just conjured.
Well, we're kind of running over on the normal amount of time we do.
Way over.
Well, I'll edit this down and get rid of some of your lines.
We'll be 1.5.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Some of my lines. Cool.
Some of yours.
Can you just get rid of that whole staring at tits bit?
No.
Like, why? No, you want to put that in? I'm going to put that in as the front runner. That could be on the sizzle reel.
I'm going to have that as the main point of the show. I'm going to have that as I'm going to replace the intro theme with that. So I promise I'm not staring at your tits, but
welcome
to nothing boob stuff.
All right, so let's get the admin out of the way. Remember, I've got a checklist. Don't interrupt me this time, fucking Gunter. I'll bring Gunter back if you interrupt me. Remember to, everyone, please like, subscribe, review wherever you got this podcast, or everywhere that you can get this podcast. Just review it in loads of different places.
As long as they're good reviews.
Oh, yeah, please. That would be great. I'll just delete the bad ones. Subscribe, like, super important. Tell your friends. It'll be really, really helpful. We'd appreciate it massively. Email us at nothingbutstuff@gmail.com. That's 2 T's in the butt. And we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/nothingbutstuff. And I believe Lewis is going to have the contemplate stuff, but I've got the movie. I did not forget this time. I usually forget, that is fair. I've got an odd one. It's a suggestion from a colleague. Now, Lewis, have you ever watched a Bollywood movie?
No.
Okay. I have it on good authority.
Here we fucking go.
Good authority. I've got it on good authority. But this movie is genuinely good.
Okay.
We've both seen like clips of Bollywood films and stuff.
I've been to India.
We've been to India, yeah. I've got nothing against Bollywood films. I feel like
I've never been exposed to it.
I've never really been exposed to it. I feel like it's a media that it's one of those cultural understanding things. Like there's like a little piece missing between like my upbringing on Western cinema against Bollywood. Anyway, I've never seen a Bollywood movie. This one is called Delhi Belly. Something
you have experienced then.
Which is synonymous with diarrhea. Delhi Belly, made in 2011. I think the rough synopsis is like a group of friends accidentally like steal someone's diamonds. Anyway, apparently it's full of like horrific violence, good humor, and it's just genuinely a good film.
Nice.
So we shall see.
Yeah.
Delhi Belly 2011. Everyone have a watch, and we'll go through it next time. So yeah, well done, Lewis. You did it. You're a big boy now.
That felt odd, but okay. Well, thank you very much for listening, everyone. We will see you next time. There's not really enough time to squeeze in this week of Contemplate stuff, but I'll let you know that the next Contemplate stuff is Star Wars themed, so you can contemplate what the Contemplate stuff will be. Contemplating Contemplate stuff, the newest segment.
God, it's terrible.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bullshit. I'm singing bullshit. Let's play with the levels.